So this is where we've been staying for the last, I think it's 5 days, 5 nights. You'll maybe be wondering why we're in a motorhome shop. I'm going to tell you in a minute. But first of all, I'll have to negotiate climbing over this gate. And there's nothing going to make you feel old faster than trying to climb a 4-foot gate at my age. I could have hopped over that 20 years ago. Let's see how I get on. I did better than I thought. So you know, in life, very few things go as planned. But I've learned on my first month in the van, nothing goes as planned, which is fine. So I didn't make any more on the road videos, driving videos, but since the last one, a few things have happened. Nothing terribly bad, but after a couple of nice layups with nice people in Bulgaria, and in one instance I helped a man and woman get a wire cable that had wrapped itself around a donkey's leg, which got me a nice cup of coffee and a chat. And I had went to leave my dogs into a kennel run by English people, a beautiful wee kennel. I was worried it was going to, you know, really cold in Bulgaria this time of the year, but the kennels were fantastic and I was going to leave them over, and it just turned out to be too much hassle to try and get them into Turkey. I had got them their passports and everything that I thought they needed, but once you get the Turkish border they require more, so it just wasn't worth it. To get blood tests and all sorts of stuff, so I thought I'll leave them in, and I didn't really fancy having them in the centre of Istanbul for a week anyway while I was getting my dental work done. So I did that. We stayed overnight in the van and then left the dogs in, and I set off for the Turkish border. Now, went through quite a few borders, some fine. Bulgaria, everywhere I went in and out of Bulgaria. I've now been in Bulgaria a couple of times, no problem. Italy, nightmare as I said before, and Serbia, nightmare. I had read that Turkey was the worst. And I remember reading somewhere that what they said about Turkey was all the other border stops are checking to make sure you have the right paperwork, but Turkey are looking to see what they can find to not let you in. And unfortunately, I didn't have one part of my cart, the van tax document, and I knew it was missing, but I had no problems anywhere else. And I got turned away from Turkey, and they weren't pleasant, they weren't nice. I told them I was coming to spend quite a lot of money on the dental surgery in Istanbul. They didn't care. All I kept hearing was back to Bulgaria, back to Bulgaria. Everyone on, like they were enjoying it. So I then went back. This dog, I took the dogs for a walk this morning, and if this dog had been able to get out, it would have eaten all three of us. I've turned back. So I was there for an hour, so it turned me away. Just had a rethink, and I thought, the hell with Turkey. All the months of planning it, but sometimes you get fixated on something and you don't consider there's other options. So I decided to leave the dental work for now and give myself time to think about it. Apply for my proper tax document and get it sent to me. My best friend Michelle sent it to me. I went back to the kennel, got the dogs, headed for Greece, and I've been in Greece ever since, which is fantastic. It's cold, it's not nearly as cold as it was. The nights are very cold still, but it's been sunny all the time, and I'm walking about now. I don't have a big coat or a jumper on. And then something started to happen with the van. The van started, the batteries in the van, what you have in a van, you have your normal battery you would have in a car keeping the engine going. And that's charged by a thing called your alternator, and the alternator charges it all the time. Well, in a motorhome you also have either one or two what are called leisure batteries in the van. I have two, and the alternator charges them as well. Well, they started to lose their charge, and the next thing I knew, I had no anything really. Yeah, no anything. Couldn't use my computer, couldn't use my lights, and found the place that had come out off there. It's fantastic. Sells vans, most helpful staff you can ever imagine. Every time I go in to talk to them, I get a coffee. They have a workshop, but he said to me on the first day, it looks like your alternator's not away. I want to do a couple of tests, so I want you to plug your van in, because you have a charger in the van that automatically charges the batteries. We'll charge each battery, see if it goes up to full strength, etc. And I says, that's great, and so I'll bring it round to you tomorrow. He says, no, you'll have to wait, there's a queue. I think, right, okay, no problem. And they have a spot for motorhomes where you can park in your own spot. You've got every facility you can imagine, including a nice shower room and loo, etc. And plug the van in and whatever. And he says, but you have to wait, because all these people are sitting in their vans waiting. And there were about 4 or 5. So that was okay. I thought to myself, I've stuff to do, I have a lot to do actually, a lot of wee jobs around the van I needed to do, and I'll just settle. The end of the story was he got round to me yesterday morning, which is about 3.5 or maybe 4.5 days in, and I've enjoyed staying in this area. I've actually getting quite good at driving around, knowing where everything is. Found a great Lidl. I'm falling in love with Lidl now. Lidl's been the best thing ever for me. But it was decided that it was probably the alternator, but not 100% sure, and he knows somebody that fixes alternators. So he arranged for me to go on Monday morning, tomorrow morning, to get the alternator looked at. Meantime, I decided I'll get a price, because I had been told by a border guard in Bulgaria that there's a place in Sofia that are excellent for dental work, and I thought I'll get a price from them. And I got a price, and now I'm going to take a wee bit of a risk, because I'm getting a lot of the same work done, a lot cheaper than Turkey, and Turkey was cheap, but I've decided to go ahead, and I thought I'll book in for next Friday. That gives all next week for my van to get fixed, and it's only a 3.5 hour drive to Sofia from here. So, hope this isn't confusing. On Friday morning, no, yesterday morning, I don't know why, but I decided to have a look at to see if you could see where the alternator is and where the battery is in the van. And I looked at the battery, and just below the battery there were 3 fuses. I will show you. 3 small fuses melted, completely melted. The bits that aren't meant to be melted were melted. And I have spares, so I took it all out and cleaned it and put it back in, and I think the problem's fixed, but I'm not sure. So what I did was I unplugged my van from their electrics yesterday, and yesterday and all last night I ran everything in the van constantly. I had everything on, the lights, everything inside the van. My computer was on all night. I let the batteries run down a bit, then go for a drive this morning to see if the alternator charges the leisure batteries back up. I have a voltmeter, so I got up this morning, took measurements. Plan was go for a drive, come back, see if the batteries raised, and if they've raised, the alternator's working. Got ready. I got ready, into the van, started the engine and drove towards the gate. I'm locked in for because it's Sunday, didn't know. So everyone's locked in. So I've just spent 15 minutes driving round and round and round the courtyard and back in. Seems to be perfect. Battery should recharge with me driving around the yard. So I think my problem's solved. I'm now going to try and change my appointment to the dental place to earlier this week, and I'm going to set off to hopefully tomorrow morning. So So I'm quite excited now. I'm not going to have to spend, hopefully not going to have to spend a fortune in the van, and go and get my dental work done in the fairly near future. But as I say, every plan I've made has changed, so this may not be what happens. Today's plan, my van's stinking outside, so I bought yesterday a big super duper wash, a brush washing thing you plug the hose into, and a bucket, and I'm going to spend a couple of hours now giving it a really good cleaning, and then I'm going to make this video and hopefully set off tomorrow morning for Sofia, back in Bulgaria, back to their freezing cold. But I'm quite happy. I found a good looking motorhome site that has all the facilities in it, so hopefully that will do well. It's just round the corner from the dental place as well. I cannot lie, climbing back in didn't go as well as climbing out. I went over it like an old man. And I'll point out where this is on the map, even put a wee link below, because if you're in northern Greece, it's a great spot to come for all sorts of reasons. And by the way, he's not charging me anything for staying here. It's free. I've been here all week. I said to him yesterday, I have to pay you something. You're not even getting to fix my van. No problem. That's why I bought the brush, really, as a thank you. Well, this is a great wee spot. It's got that's for that blue pipe is for where you put you have it on your van. You have a special box, a very enclosed clean box, but inside it's all your nasty stuff, and it gets poured down that blue, and your other water, as I'm doing at the minute, just really gets emptied out over a drain. It's just your shower water and stuff, but very good. And that's a hose for filling the tank, the water tank. And this is a great wee toilet block, which I haven't needed to use, but really good. Now, other than one thing, the toilet, if anyone has any suggestions on how you could sit on it, you can let me know. I haven't got a clue. Yeah, but no, very good, excellent. Never had a car brush of this fantastic quality in my life. I stick the hose onto it, so I'm probably about to get soaked and figuring out how to use it, but here we go. Yep. Brilliant. And I have a bucket, a new bucket, very hot, soapy water. So, wet, soaking wet feet and dirty and freezing, but well worth it. My van hasn't been that clean since the day I bought it. Looking good. Just ready now to go into Bulgaria to the sleet again and get dirty, but that's life. Ta-da! Spot the difference. Also, I spent yesterday a large part of my day fitting that, which is a reverse camera, daytime and nighttime, and a very strong light, even though it's very small, fitted to a very old screen in the van. I'll see how I get on with the old screen in a bit. And I'm not happy with it, I'll buy a new one, but up to now I've been reversing and not having any way of seeing out the back, so I had to keep jumping out and having a look to see how close I was to things. Big big man, 6.5 meters, maybe even a wee bit longer. So my final clip in this video, I was going to sit on the seat on the door of my van, put my tripod up, set the camera on. I haven't done that yet, and on a tripod, and do the last wee bit of filming. But unfortunately, my tripod is a duopod. Is it a duo? I don't know what you would call it, but somewhere between Belfast and Greece, it's lost a leg. And if there's one thing that won't work very well on it's a tripod with 2 legs. Buster, shut up. So, all good news. Dental place going to take me first thing on Tuesday morning. This is Sunday. So, tomorrow I'm going to set off. I'll drive to Sofia. I've already arranged somewhere to stay. Nice looking camp. And treatment starts on Tuesday, and maybe if I'm lucky I'll be finished by Friday. So plans, you can never trust them. As long as you're flexible, it doesn't matter. So I'll leave it there. Until next time, see you then. Bye.